Bitcoin short squeeze has now officially freaking started. I told you so. We talked about this these last freaking days. Everybody was in denial that this was going to happen. And here we are. Bitcoin at $54,000 and actually went as high. If I look at the charts right here, over it says right here high of 54. That's weird, dude. I could have sworn I just saw a high 55. It marks it a little bit slightly 55, about like just touching 55, like barely touching 55. It's like 54,966. This also says 500 or 54,969. So officially very close to hitting that $55,000 Bitcoin with a short squeeze that we all have been freaking talking about. I told you there is a high probability a short squeeze was going to be happening, and here we are. Bitcoin at $54,000 today at market going on today. You know what I mean? The market opened on this week, Monday, February 26th, and it looks like altcoin seasons might also be taking off. So I do want to go ahead and say congratulations on anybody that actually took advantage of that pump. And hopefully none of you got super wrecked. You know, not something we should all go ahead and be celebrating, at least just yet, because it does look like we will be having a top coming soon. But I've been talking about this squeeze for the last couple days. I've been really bullish on this scenario. I've been continuing to push this narrative, and you know, many people were in denial. And Bitcoin short squeeze. What else can I freaking say, man? It's like literally something's the truth, and it's hidden in plain sight. Like, why not just look at the other picture instead of always focusing on just one thing, right? We are now live. Welcome everybody, by the way. Thank you for all those that are tuning in with me. Brian, squeeze my wick, bro. How's it going? Bernie, I said Brian. Bernie, hope you're having a good one, bro. Long time no see. How you been, man? How you been? I've been seeing Sabid around, but I haven't seen you, Bernie, in a while. I know you must really be liking those nice little ETH pumps. And I wouldn't be surprised if we also have Ethereum pumping, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at some charts right now. I'll go ahead and minimize my face because, you know, all of you came here to go ahead and look at some technical analysis, not my freaking face. So let's go ahead and start minimizing that. And let's go straight into it. So we're going to go ahead and be doing some technical analysis on what the market is doing, bro. I'm good, bro. Hope you're good. I'm doing good, man. Can't complain. The markets have been a little shaky, but I've been squeezed. Marco, how's it going, my guy? I don't want to say I told you so, but I told a lot of you to be very careful that this was a high probability that was going to happen. I told you, see, look, this is the problem with the market, man. And this is the reason why we're at where we're at, right? The market is supposed to top. Like, there's no actual real signs. Like, this is not a real market. Like, I just hope all of you understand this. Like, this is not a real market. Like, if you're just basing, you know, the market based on just solely technical analysis, yes, we were getting some bearish signals. Like don't get me wrong, I understand why a lot of people were shorting, right? It completely makes sense. But there's a reason why I told a lot of you have to be very careful, because this market's not real. This is like literally a make-up market. Like, they literally have been just manipulating, pumping and dumping the market to whatever direction. Like, this market is not real. Like, what we're seeing is not real whatsoever. This is a fake artificial market. Like, this is not real. And this is the reason why I was calling for this short squeeze, because I knew a lot of people were going to be shorting and a lot of people were going long against the narrative, right? So if there's enough people, you know, shorting, and there's enough more people being bullish about the scenario, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a squeeze, and this is exactly what we're seeing. And unfortunately, a lot of retail investors and traders don't even freaking know what a short squeeze is. So as soon as they start seeing these candlesticks, they're like, oh snap, Bitcoin's freaking pumpy. Let me go ahead and enter along. And they start entering along and pushing towards these levels higher and higher, right? So this is the reason why I've been talking about these last couple of days. You can go to all my freaking content, literally to all my content. Even if we were to go back over here, you can go ahead and see my videos. I've been talking about a short squeeze since February 18th. We could even continue to go back even lower. I think I probably even have more videos talking about this possibility of a short squeeze for a cool minute, right? And look, January 18th, we talked about this possible Bitcoin short squeeze, and we've been talking about this, right? So it's not something that's unusual. I guess you just kind of have to predict in advance. And even with that being said, I told you there's a high probability a squeeze will happen, but we should be careful on longing or shorting the market, right? Since January 19th, I've been talking about this high probability of a Bitcoin short squeeze, and it has happened time and time and time and over again, right? So a lot of people, you know, continue to deny what I freaking say, man. I've called literally most tops and bottoms. Like I haven't been wrong yet, right? And knock on wood, like I mentioned, like it doesn't really matter if I'm wrong. I'm okay being wrong with what I say, right? But this is kind of the reason why I give warnings ahead of time. So I hope a lot of you did not get wrecked, like heavily bad. Hopefully, if you guys did get wrecked, it was a small position, but nothing too crazy, right? We are now live. And I'm the last person that I want to be like, I told you so, right? But this is kind of the reason why. This is not kind of the reason. This is exactly the reason why I have not been trading this market. Like I've been loading up on some, dude, what the heck is going on, my guy? This is the reason why I got to be very careful on loading up Twitter whenever I'm on live stream, because I don't know what's going to come across my feed with freaking crypto, bro. It's like so degenerate. See, like it's freaking insane. But look, with that being said, I've told a lot of you, you know, using this, what I think it's called like the fixed range volume indicator, I believe it's called. We were talking about how there's really no resistance until this $57,000 range, right? So this is kind of the reason why I've been pushing this short squeeze narrative for these last couple of days, and I've doubled down on this narrative. I did not long this position because honestly, realistically, you just don't know where this was going to go, whether it was going to go to the upside or it was going to go to the downside, right? It's like we saw the DXY giving us some bearish signals that we were going to be seeing a massive reversal, but looking at the DXY, it just freaking collapsed today. Like, I don't know what the heck happened today in the US markets, but the dollar just freaking dumped, bro. And that's helpful for, you know, Ethereum and Bitcoin, right? Bernie's favorite, Ethereum. And it looks like the stock market it's about to finish on a red, right? So does this market make sense? No, this market does not make sense whatsoever. So I don't want any of you to think like, how will we be able to predict that this was going to happen? You can't, you don't. I'm telling you, this market is so freaking manipulated. It's so artificial. It's artificially pumped. It's artificially dumped as well. Like, you just can't rely on what's going on with the information nowadays solely just on technical analysis, right? Like, from a technical standpoint, in my opinion, unless you were like actively watching the charts, you would have been able to capture this little swing to the upside. But unless you were in my position where, like, let's say for example, I was talking about a possibility of a short squeeze, I could have been either this one, I could have been either or of this person, right? I could have been the person that would have doubled down on my long Bitcoin at these levels where we were at, or you short with what everybody was pushing towards, right? So both ways, there's a high probability you probably would have lost, right? What if a short squeeze would have never happened and Bitcoin did dump, right? Well, you would have gotten wrecked going long, obviously, and vice versa. So there was really no narrative of really going long or short. That's why I stayed out of the market. I told one of my buddy was arguing with me. I haven't talked to him in a cool minute, like literally years. And the first conversation we talked about was Bitcoin for like literally 8 hours, man, on the phone. Like, I haven't talked to this guy in a cool minute. And we had this discussion for 8 hours about the market and what we think is going to happen. And he was betting. He was telling me, I bet Bitcoin's going to go to $42,000 or something like that in the next week. And I said, dude, I'm pretty confident it's not going to happen, but I'm not going to bet you any money just due to the fact that I'm not longing or shorting this market. This market is way too risky for me to enter any positions at the moment right now. I'm like, the only positions I'm in are in some meme tokens, and that's it. Like, that's the only exposure I'm willing to have right now, due to the fact that realistically, it shows signs that we should go down, but it's also showing signs that we're more than likely probably going to go up if we slightly pump 5%. So it's really any direction it could go to, right? So for that reason, I was like, dude, you know what, man? I'm not gonna go ahead and bet on that because I'm not sure. I'm not even in a position to be honest. But I think there's a high probability it's gonna squeeze to the upside. And until I get a confirmation, I will enter a position. But right now, dude, I'm not gonna be entering a position. This is foolish. Like, can it continue to pump even higher? I mean, 100% unless I look at some entry points on the smaller time frames, like maybe we come back down to the 52 or come back down to the $53,000 range, I might consider entering a long position. But these are very risky levels, you know what I mean? And it goes back to it. And people are going to be like, well, I'm going to go ahead and short right here. Well, as we talked about with this volume fixed indicator, we have really no resistance to be touched until $57,000. So if what's going to more than likely happen, we're probably going to have a lot of bears, double down in their positions like usual. And they're going to go ahead and start entering some shorts right now because in the technical side, it has to go down. But what's going to happen is more than likely retail is probably going to go ahead and double down on their longs, and we're going to go ahead and see a massive push to the upside. I'm thinking resistance is going to be around $57,000 because as we talked about, the fixed range indicator shows us that's where a very strong area of resistance from past years. So we could even ideally push to $60,000, right? So we have to be very, very careful. And this is the reason why I'm not longing Bitcoin, bro. Like I'll be longing altcoins, I'll be longing meme tokens, but Bitcoin, that's all yours. I think we're reaching a top very, very soon. So I don't want any of you to get too excited or too bummed out that, you probably got liquidated out of your shorts or whatever the case is, because we are entering a near top of the market, right? So on a technical side point, yes, Bitcoin should have corrected long freaking time ago. And this is what we've been talking about. On a technical standpoint, it makes sense why a lot of people were shorting the market. But realistically, because this market is artificially pumped, I understood that this was exactly going to happen, right? So I'm not going to be long, Bitcoin at these levels, bro. Like, I'd be foolish to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go ahead and stay on the sideline, watch the market do its thing, look for opportunities in altcoins and meme tokens. Like, might as well. If I'm going to expose myself longing Bitcoin right now, my best bet is exposing myself on meme tokens and altcoins, because at least exposing myself in those markets, there's a higher reward as opposed to with Bitcoin. What's the highest Bitcoin could realistically go in the short term? I'm thinking no more than $65,000 on Bitcoin. Like I think that's like the most if we were to go ahead and do a bullish scenario where shorts continue to double down on their position, retail gets excited because they think the bull run's ready and they're going to go ahead and long, right? So like you have to understand, retail doesn't think technically. Like they think like based on what the price action is doing. Like if it's going green, retail's going to double down on their positions as usual. And this is the reason why we're seeing the movement that we're seeing right now. So even if we were to go ahead and pump to like, let's say $65,000, that's a 16% pump, which is not really too exciting in my opinion. And I think the risk is higher, right? Because from this top to this bottom, if we were to correct with Bitcoin down to like, let's say even to that 40% correction, that would take Bitcoin at around that 35% correction, where usually Bitcoin has anywhere between a 30 to a 50% correction. A lot of people are saying that could never happen again. As I told you, I had this argument with my buddy that he was talking about how Bitcoin was going to hit $10,000. And I'm like, bro, you're out of your freaking mind, man. Like, I don't know where $10,000 is coming from. Like where is $10,000 Bitcoin coming? Like, if there was ever a case where Bitcoin reaches $10,000 ever again, I do not want to be in that time in the market, bro, because that means we are freaking doomed. That means the stock market is going to be crashing. That means the housing market is going to crash. And that means crypto is going to be crashing, right? So realistically, most people are going to get doomed for getting wrecked out of all their money if we were to see a $10,000 Bitcoin. And two, there's going to be a lot of fear in the market that people are not going to be willing to buy, which means it'll take us longer to actually get closer to a bull run, right? So this is the reason why I'm not screaming for $10,000. So I'm really excited to go ahead and see what my buddy's going to say. I texted him this morning and I'm like, bro, are you really still bearish about Bitcoin crashing to $10,000? I'm like, we're at $52,000. You know what he texted me? He's like, patience. Now it's at $54,000, bro. So see, the thing is, man, I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I'm just like, it's sometimes clear in front of our faces of what the market's doing. Like it's not like you don't have to be a freaking wizard to understand what's going on. Like if you spent enough time in the market, you get to a point where you could even look at patterns without even having to do technical analysis. Like, tell me what freaking crazy technical analysis do? I just use support and resistance, bro. I use support and resistance in the RSI. And that's it. I don't freaking use no fancy, moon phases, no triangles, no crazy indicators that you have to pay crazy money for. I don't use any crazy technical things, bro. Like nothing. Like it's just really support and resistance, and that's it. Like it's really, really basic. Some people just overcomplicate, in my opinion, when it comes to trading. They overcomplicate this. Like, I think the only edge that I have, I guess, and the reason why I've been able to call most tops and bottoms of this market again is because I look at the fundamental standpoint too of what the market's doing overall, right? I'm just quite impressed and surprised with what happened with the stock market today. We did get rejected, so that's actually quite interesting. I mean, we started pretty green today, and then we ended on a red, right? So something might have happened. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna find out in the next couple hours what actually happens in the market, and then we're going to go ahead and do that update later on today. But something happened in the market that kind of did a little shakeout, right? And it doesn't mean this is the top of the market, because we've also talked about how most of these markets on the monthly have been showing us a very, very bullish narrative. I mean, look at this cup and handle pattern, bro. Like, how more obvious do you want me to go ahead and show you this? Like, I've been showing you this since the longest, and you have to keep in mind, I was the biggest bear in Bitcoin and crypto when everybody was bullish around the ETF, right? And we did see that correction, but I don't think that was a correction we need. Realistically, Bitcoin needs, in my opinion, a 30 to a 40% correction if we ever get that again. But I do think a 30% correction will happen. And for altcoins, I think altcoins need like a 50% correction, bro. Like even altcoins are at levels where we haven't really corrected too much, right? So a lot of people have to understand, it's like, yes, the market doesn't make any sense. Like, why is the market going up even higher? Like, we're having war, we're declaring new war, and yet the market continues to go up high. Like, we literally just broke record highs since 2021, these last couple literally months, right? So does it make any sense? No, it doesn't freaking make sense. Like, the market shouldn't be doing this, but guess what? It's doing it. So this is the reason why I'm telling a lot of people that yes, we're due for a correction. Yes, the housing market is freaking at the tops. Yes, I do believe we need a big dump where all of this gets corrected, but realistically, it's not going to happen. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's going to happen whenever the market decides that top to be, but it's not in yet. It's coming. I think Bitcoin might top at $57,000, but as I mentioned to a lot of people, I really don't care about what Bitcoin does, bro. Like, I don't care what Bitcoin does because I don't trade Bitcoin. Like, I barely trade Bitcoin. Like, I don't really care about Bitcoin. Like, yes, Bitcoin's a leading factor. Yes, Bitcoin's overextended, bro. Like, look at this. Like, if you don't tell me we're not like in some sort of bubble, you're living in a delusional freaking world, bro. We've been literally pumping since October, around actually, let's call it September. When I actually started longing the market, I actually doubled down on longing the market on my altcoins and my meme tokens around this range right here. And I told a lot of you to go ahead and long the market there, right? I told you, Bitcoin's going to go ahead and hit, $57,000. Like, you can't make any of this up, bro. Like, I've literally, if you go back to all of my freaking live streams that I've talked about, you could go ahead and see where I talked about, Bitcoin hitting these pretty crazy levels that everybody was just making fun of. They're like, dude, you're delusional. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like Bitcoin's going to $10,000, and I'm like, bro, are you delusional? $10,000 Bitcoin? Like, come on, man. It's $10,000 Bitcoin's not gonna happen. Will it ever happen? I don't know. Maybe not. Like I said, I don't care if I'm right or wrong on my analysis. But as you see back over here, I was talking about $30,000 Bitcoin at these levels when Bitcoin was like around 20 something thousand dollars, right? So like you can go way back all the way to my content, you know, $50,000 incoming, you know what I mean? It's like, and I said why I'm bullish for crypto 2 months ago when everybody was super bearish, right? So it's just like you kind of have to go ahead and hop on these waves earlier on before people like start calling you crazy. But I think it just comes down to, it's like, yes, we're in a bubble, bro. Like if you don't see this, you are delusional. I'm sorry to tell you. This is we're in a bubble, bro. I don't know what to tell you. That's all clear of what I'm telling you. And I understand why people are shorting, because like look at this, bro. Like this is not good, bro. Like yes, we're all excited that crypto's freaking pumping, but like when we don't have these corrections, as I always tell you, the harder we're gonna fall. So like the higher Bitcoin continues to go without any really, you know, corrections, and we could hit 65,000, 75,000, maybe even we break, you know, the previous all-time high of $69,000 and we go straight to $80,000. But imagine what the correction from there will be, you know, and that's what people don't understand. And I could guarantee you most people will not be prepared. Most people will be too excited with what Bitcoin's doing, what these all their altcoins are doing. Same thing with Solana. You know, we talked about Solana. Like I really wonder what Solana is doing. And we talked about the same levels with Solana, right? Solana was extremely bearish, bro, like extremely bearish. Like I was really bearish on Solana, like around right here. And especially yesterday, I was even more bearish. And I'm like, more than likely, if we do get rejected out of the 105, like Solana's done, bro. It's toast. And we're going to go ahead and see $55 or $60 on Solana, right? But yeah, we had this squeeze too as well, that a lot of these altcoins are following. And I don't understand why. Maybe some of you could go ahead and tell me why this is going on. Like, why is it that, you know, Solana is following Bitcoin, bro? Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like I don't comprehend that. So like I would have been, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like if I would have entered a position, I would have been shorting Solana, bro. Solana just made perfect sense on the technical standpoint to short. It made 100% completely sense to short Solana. Yet Solana freaking broke out and pumped. So I understand why a lot of people would have been shorting, because in a technical standpoint, it makes sense to freaking short. Like it's literally kind of clear. We have a head and shoulders pattern. Like it was just clear to go ahead and short this and then just ride Solana all the way down to like 50, 60 bucks, which would have been a nice little like freaking 50% correction, bro. That would have been freaking nice. You know what I mean? Everybody would have been happy. The shorts would have been making a lot of money. I'm telling you, there's more money to be made on the downside, in my opinion. Like the money is not as good as longing a market, because the longing on market, we enter at times, you know, some nice resistance, or if we don't enter any resistance, because of the fact that we never entered any resistance, when you start shorting, the market falls down a lot quicker, right? Does that mean that, you know, Solana is completely bullish and I would be longing this? No, dude, I'm not going to be entering any trades. Like whatever I'm in right now, because this could also be the next shoulder for the head and shoulders pattern, right? So we're still at some very levels that I wouldn't be celebrating or any of that, because the market could go ahead and just flip and wreck everybody, which we've seen time and time over again. But I will enter a position on Solana if we do go ahead and break past this 110 and we could hold this area of support. I'm going to be longing Solana right here, bro, because it's a no-brainer. We're going to 144, and we've been talking about 144 since this range right here. But I've noticed that in this market, they love to do liquidity grabs, right? I was really bearish on Solana right here. I was about to enter a short right here, and I said, you know, no, I was actually going to enter a short right here, and I was like, you know what? I think more than likely it was going to be a squeeze, so I'm not going to enter a position. Actually, I take that back. I actually did enter a position right here. I actually entered a position right here on Solana. Unfortunately, I forgot to put a stop loss, and I got squeezed out right here out of my position. I got liquidated right here in my position. As soon as I got liquidated out of my position, the market pumped. So now I'm starting to realize that a lot of these positions, it's not even worth swing trading because of how volatile the market is, right? It's like, I'm not riding with hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, or else I'd be chilling like a chinchilla and I'd be longing my positions with no hesitation. But I've noticed that this market is a market you want to quickly trade in and out, bro. It's like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like the fact that I got wrecked out of my position before it pumped, it just didn't make any sense, right? Like literally overnight, dumped. My position is just dumped, liquidated. Literally, as soon as I got liquidated, the market literally did exactly what I thought it was going to do, right? So with that being said, I understand on a technical standpoint why many people shorted, but on the sentiment of the side of the market, it was just clear what was going to happen. I mean, there were just a lot of people longing this market, even though it made no sense to long the market, right? So this is the reason why we're having this movement. So for Solana, until I see this this 110 approach, and we could go ahead and see some little bounce down to like this area of support, I'm going to be longing this because there's no, as I mentioned, there's no brainer 144 is going to be around the corner for Solana, right? So dude, this is actually quite interesting. I really want to see how the fear and greed is. We're probably entering like extreme greed. We're at 72 right now, but we have the next 2-hour update, so I'm looking forward to what's going to happen with that. Yeah, I do believe Bitcoin's going to be topping soon, so that's kind of the reason why I really don't care about Bitcoin. And as I mentioned, worst comes to worst, which I don't really think it's a worst situation, but it just depends on who you're asking. Worst comes to worst, we probably see Bitcoin even reach $65,000, bro. Because of this narrative of how we're seeing it on a technical standpoint, no, it doesn't make any sense. But on a sentiment standpoint, you know, as we start getting these squeezes up, if we continue to have a squeeze, retail is just going to go ahead and double down, bro. That's just retail. They love buying green. They don't love buying red, right? So they'll just double down, and that could go ahead and have a lot of shorts trying to cover their position, pushing the price action up even higher. So this is the reason why I'm not even betting against Bitcoin, right? I'm bearish on Bitcoin, but I'm really going to start, you know, doubling down on a lot of my positions as soon as I see a top on Bitcoin, because I don't know where the top is. A lot of people thought this was a top, and I knew it wasn't a top, right? Because it was clear Bitcoin had a lot of liquidations within the $52,000 to $53,000 range. And this is the reason why it pumps. You know what I mean? So like, as we've seen time and over again, a lot of people, when they're trading, they're just ego trading, and they're doubling down on their analysis because it makes sense on a technical standpoint, right? So I'm not going to trade Bitcoin, bro. I'm not going to touch Bitcoin right now whatsoever. I'm not going to go ahead and position myself for Solana yet. You know, back in the day, I would quickly act on it. Now I learned that you have to be patient because the market switches literally in a snap of a finger. So with that being said, I'll just be closely looking at the market. I mean, for all of those that have been longing altcoins and meme tokens these last 2 weeks since I've been bullish about an altcoin season, a lot of you should be sitting up pretty nicely if you longed any positions. But as I mentioned, like, you know, leverage trading, I was kind of hesitant to even begin until I got a clear sign. And I think we're getting this clear sign. So I'm just patiently waiting for Bitcoin to top. And I want to see, are altcoins also going to top? Because there's been a few altcoins that have been following Bitcoin, but I doubt it. I think what's going to happen is Bitcoin tops, we're going to see a small little correction on altcoins maybe, and then altcoins are going to go ahead and take off again. And then we're going to have all that money move into meme tokens. So it just kind of makes sense, but it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense whatsoever. Like this market does not make sense. I'm going to be honest with you. It's an artificial freaking market. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and see where things go moving forward. Let's go ahead and read some comments. Ryan, how's it going, man? Hope you're having a good one. I had limit short at 54,000, 54,450, and 56,000. No stop loss because I'm going to win either way. Nice. What if it hits 57? I'm telling you now, this mother effing market, this MF market is not real. Yeah, this market is not real. It reminds me of that woman on the plane, bro. That's so funny, man. Happy, how's it going? Thank you. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day today. It's great to see, you know, the live stream come back to live. Like it kind of sucks how like when the market's not doing too well, like no one cares, bro. It's just like that's also the thing that kind of sucks about being a content creator, is that you know, people just don't care when the market's not really doing good. But when the market's doing good, everybody cares, you know, for whatever dumb reason. Marco, do you think it breaks all-time high before topping, and do you think it's a slow bleed downwards or crashes? Marco, that's a great question. So I think I don't think this is a top yet for Bitcoin. I think it's going to continue to run up. I'm thinking my top is $57,000, but as we talked about, this is the problem with people that just go based on just technical analysis, right? Like people that just go based on technical analysis and don't analyze any other fundamentals or any sentiment of the market. this is the reason why they're not able to really know where the top or bottom is. And I'm not telling you I'm any better than those really good traders, right? Because I'm not the best trader. Like, let's be honest. I'm a pretty open book, and a lot of you know that I have really good successful plays, but I've also have some really huge losses that, you know, most traders probably won't even dare taking. But, you know, I'm a risk taker, right? So when I'm right, I'm usually freaking right, and I make a lot of freaking money, right? But if I'm wrong, I lose a lot of freaking money, right? So this is kind of the reason why I'm kind of switching up my style and trying to predict it ahead of time, because when I do hit it, dude, I make a lot of freaking money, like literally more money than, you know, in one trade that would take, you know, many people a couple months, right? So I'm pretty good at like analyzing that. Like, imagine if I would have just doubled down on my narrative on being bullish, right? I would have made a lot of money. But what if my analysis didn't go well? I would have lost a lot of money, right? And that's happened before. So this is the reason why I'm kind of changing up my style and not just going based on what I know that's going to happen. I go based on what the market's going to tell me, which could play in your favor either or, right? If you could go ahead and predict the market ahead of time, you're going to be rewarded really, really freaking well, bro. That's just the reality of what it is. If you're willing to take on the risk before the market is showing you signs of an uptrend or a downtrend, you're going to make a lot of freaking money. But I don't think that's good behavior, because you're kind of almost guessing. It's kind of almost gambling into the market, right? So like, that's the reason why, like, when I win, I have some very fat freaking wins, because I do well, right? But I told myself, you know, I want to go ahead and kind of change up my style where I get a confirmation before entering a trade. So I'm trying to be a little bit more patient, and I'm trying to stick to what I'm saying. So like, as much as I want to long this market now, I'm going to go ahead and wait for me to get that confirmation, right? So with what you're saying, Marco, is, as I'm mentioning, from a technical standpoint, $57,000 is a huge area of resistance, right? As we know that this market is not freaking real, it's artificially pumped and dump, there's a high probability, and this is the reason why I'm not longing or betting against anybody, because my buddy's like, how much you want to bet that Bitcoin's gonna dump? And I'm like, dude, I don't think it's gonna dump. I'm pretty confident, but I'm not betting anything because I don't know. Realistically, anything could happen. I'm like, I don't even know why anybody would be longing or shorting this market now. Like, it just doesn't make any sense why anybody will be, you know, putting themselves at that risk, right? So what I'm trying to say is that even though $57,000 is a strong area of resistance, from a technical standpoint, just like what Bitcoin made no sense, Bitcoin should have dumped at these levels we were at. On a technical standpoint, there's a high probability a lot of freaking traders are going to be shorting $57,000. There's a high probability. There's a very, very, very high probability, in my opinion, that if Bitcoin continues to pump at where the levels we're at right now, which I think it will, there's a high probability that the good traders that are looking at the technical standpoint, they're going to be shorting heavily at $57,000, because they're like, dude, it's an area of resistance. Like, it's been rejected. It's charts are telling us, man, it has to get rejected. And we have to understand that not because those are areas of resistance from previous history, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, right? And that's what a lot of people don't also understand. This is the reason why I no longer like to do swing trades, bro. Like, I used to be the person that I would long the market 6 to 8 months down the line, and I would make money. You know, I did that back in when the GameStop and AMC short squeeze happened, right? I got in at GameStop at like $6, doubled down on my narrative. You know, I bought GameStop at $6. I bought AMC at like $6 to $4, and I held them on for 6 to 8 months on options, not shares. Options. I bought expiration contracts that were 8 months out, 6 to 8 months out. Very, very, very freaking risky behavior, right? Putting like $3,000 to $6,000 positions on these options. But if I timed the market correctly and I did hit it, I would make a lot of money, right? It worked. Perfect plan. It worked. The market was different back then. Right now, the market makes no freaking sense, bro. Like, I would not trade, I wouldn't even hold on to most of these trades for no more than a couple hours to a couple days, because I realized that even if you hold a trade for like a week, week and a half, 2 weeks, they will usually go ahead and do a liquidity grab. And with that being said, right now, I bet there's going to be a lot of people trying to short, double down to the $57,000 range. You're going to have a lot of short interest around $57,000. Retail is going to get excited like, dude, it's $57,000. Let's go ahead and $100,000 Bitcoin. Yeah, $100,000 Bitcoin. And guess what? The retail is going to go ahead and squeeze out the shorts again. And that's why I'm not freaking entering Bitcoin right now, because everything's looking bullish in Bitcoin right now, in my opinion. You know, is it over? Is it, you know, are we due for correction? Yes. Yes. You're freaking right, bro. But this market is fake. It's fugazi. This is a fugazi freaking market. It's not the same. I would not be basing off, you know, a lot of information from previous bull runs. Like, people like to say, but this time the market is different. It's more bullish. No, bro. Just freaking trade the market as where the market's going, because in reality, we don't know where the top of the market is. Like, stop trying to, you know, guess where the market's going to go. I think the market is going to be bullish in the next year or so. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to be doing some crazy stuff like this anymore, because I understand that this market is, it's artificial, dude. It's artificial. And let alone freaking crypto, dude. Crypto is like freaking so artificial, it's not even funny. Like, I've realized that now. Like, especially when you go ahead and you're in both ends, the back end and the front end. I'm like, dude, crypto is so artificial, man. Like, it just doesn't make any freaking sense. But it does. You know what I mean? Like, this is to no surprise to me. Might be a surprise to many of you, but to me, it's not a surprise, right? But yeah, so once we do reach this top of the market, wherever the heck it is, whether it's 65,000, $80,000, realistically, Bitcoin could hit $65,000. As scary as that sounds for many of you, right? Because as I mentioned, there's probably going to be a lot of good traders doubling down on $57,000. I could almost guarantee you that, bro. I could almost guarantee you there's going to be a lot of traders doubling down on $57,000. And if retail feels bullish enough, retail's going to push and squeeze out all the shorts. It just is what it is, right? And if we do see that pump to $65,000, something that I found really interesting is that if we measure from this range of $65,000 on Bitcoin and we go all the way down to, let's say, the $40,000 range, that would take us to around that 36, and if we go slightly a little bit lower, let's say $40,000 Bitcoin, right? That'll take us with the 40% correction, which I think it's needed, in my opinion. I think Bitcoin needs a freaking correction, bro. Like it was due for a 30% correction months ago, and it never freaking really happened. So I think Bitcoin is due at this point at least minimum of 40 or 50% correction. And if Bitcoin does top off at $65,000, a lot of people are not going to see this coming. And I think that's where a huge dump could happen very quickly, coming all the way down to this strong area of support, which in my opinion is around the $39,000 to the $40,000 range. And that will take Bitcoin to around a 40% correction, right? And we go back on previous in the past, and I know I just talked about why we shouldn't be doing this, but like if you go all the way back from the past, from like when Bitcoin topped off right here at $63,000, and we see that correction, we see a 55% correction, right? So unless we're basing off that Bitcoin still reaches, like, let's say that 55% correction, or let's say Bitcoin does look for a 55% correction, that would mean realistically we'll probably see Bitcoin reach at around the levels of $70,000 and above. And if we were to have that 40% correction, we're talking about freaking Bitcoin going a lot higher, right? Because I say Bitcoin's at a very strong area of support at $40,000. So if we were to come down, I think it's around the $44,000 range. So like, let's say like realistically Bitcoin could hit $75,000, which is going to catch a lot of people by surprise. And if we do dump, that would take us to around that 45 to that 50% correction. As you see, look at that 46.42% correction at the $40,000 range. And in my opinion, that would be healthy. So realistically, we could see Bitcoin reach these levels. I'm not saying it's going to happen in a short squeeze. I don't know if this is possible, right? But I'm not going to tell you this is going to happen, because a narrative has to really change in order for Bitcoin to do this. Like, let's say Bitcoin squeezes out to $80,000, which is very possible. To this correction, we're talking about almost to that $40,000 range. That's going to take us to about a 50% correction, which is actually really well, in my opinion. I think this is really good. You know what I mean? Because if we do see that pump and we do see $80,000 in Bitcoin, let's say by in the next coming weeks, let's say we end the month of March and April to Bitcoin at $80,000, you know, that 50% correction is not going to be too bad. $40,000 Bitcoin, that's actually going to be pretty healthy in my opinion. Now, am I gonna say that 80,000 is gonna happen by next month? No, dude, I'm not even gonna bet on that, bro, because I don't know. But you have to keep in mind that there's a possibility that $80,000 could actually happen, right? I'm not gonna tell you it will happen because I'm not the type of person to, you know, try to predict price actions ahead of time because I'm not good at it, bro. So you know, I don't know, but just be realistic with yourself. There's a probability that $80,000 Bitcoin could happen. And I know it might sound very, very crazy, but all it takes is enough shorts to be with their ego of doubling down on their narrative, because yes, Bitcoin should crash on a technical standpoint, but it doesn't matter what you want, right? It's going to matter where the sentiment of the market's heading. And if all retail, yes, the dumb retail traders are all, you know, calling for a bull run, and enough retail traders are longing the market, and as long as shorts continue to double down on their narrative, there's going to be a continuation that squeezes to the upside. So yes, on a technical standpoint, it makes no sense, but on a sentiment standpoint, it makes 100% sense, and it's clearly what we've had on today's pump. Like, no, this is not a pump to be celebrating, in my opinion. Like, this is not like, woo, bull run's back. I guess you could be excited, but I think this is more of a warning, in my opinion. Like, this should be a clear warning that yes, we're overextended in the market, and yes, we're due for a correction. So whether the top is at right now, or it's $57,000, or it's $65,000, or it's $80,000, I don't freaking know. And for that reason, I'm not going to go ahead and enter any positions on Bitcoin. I'd be just looking at altcoins and meme tokens, because it's the same. I'm actually going to be exposing myself about the same, but I'll be making more money in the altcoins and meme tokens anyway. So if Bitcoin does pump to these levels, well, then it's going to be good for altcoins, I guess. I don't know. We'll see where things go. This market makes no sense. So we can sit here and draw out technicals and draw out probabilities, but until they happen, they happen. So I don't freaking know where this market's going to go. But when it does come, when the top does come in, whether it's at these ranges or at $80,000 Bitcoin, the crash is going to be coming very, very freaking fast. And I think a lot more people will lose a lot of money, and will make actually a lot more money because of that dump, because there's no resistance, bro. So that's kind of the bullish thing, right? So like, if you miss out on longing Bitcoin because you're like, it's a little too risky, shorting Bitcoin is almost going to be like a guaranteed freaking win, bro. And in my opinion, I think there's going to be more money to be made shorting, because we all know that when the market's red, people tend to get scared and freak out and just dump the freaking market, right? So imagine the people that buy Bitcoin at, let's say, $80,000, and they see Bitcoin correct to like $75,000. We're going to start seeing a lot of people get scared. And if we see like an $80,000 Bitcoin drop down to freaking, let's say, $68,000, imagine how many people are going to be freaking out at these levels, right? So the good thing about this is that if we do see a continuation to the upside on Bitcoin, and we see a squeeze pushing us to $80,000, and you miss out because you're like, you know what, I'm not going to enter this market, then, you know, shorting it on the downside is going to be so easy, because there's not going to be any resistance. So because there's no resistance, the market's going to be like a free fall market. It's all going to dump. And imagine, like, if we do see that run up on Bitcoin, maybe altcoins follow too, and then we have altcoins follow with a freaking 50 to an 80% correction, and I think that would be good also, right? Before we have Bitcoin make new all-time highs. So we do hit Bitcoin hitting, you know, $80,000 or $65,000. Like, imagine what this market is going to bring us this year, right? Or maybe that is the top of the market. Like, have you ever considered that? Maybe if we do see Bitcoin hit $80,000, that's top. And that's it. And we're going to have to wait till the next cycle, whenever that is. I don't know. It's all speculation. No one freaking knows, bro. No one freaking knows. This is the reason why I don't want to go ahead and call tops and bottoms exactly, even though I've called most tops and bottoms, but I never give you a price with a freaking date, because I don't know, dude. I don't know where the market's heading. I don't know what the market's going to decide to do. This is the reason why we try to do streams twice a day, to analyze the market carefully and see where things are going to go. Because I don't freaking know, dude. Like, tell me someone that does freaking know where the market is gonna head. The thing that bothers me the most is when someone is 100% confident where the market's gonna go. I'm a pretty confident person, but I would never tell you like 100% like, oh, you have to go ahead and sell everything and double down on your narrative right now because I can guarantee you it's gonna go to this direction. No, I don't ever say that because I don't know. I'm just going based on what I think is gonna happen, and realistically, this could happen. As crazy as it sounds, $80,000 Bitcoin could realistically happen. I mean, look at these levels right here. This is about what, another 46% pump. But let's say we do break towards that $57,000. That's a 37% pump, bro. It's not that crazy if you really think about it. It sounds crazy based on the price action, but a 50% pump, it's not unheard of. We see meme tokens and altcoins do that like in a day. Like literally Uniswap did like 61% or 81% a few days ago. Like for altcoins, it's like a 1x is not freaking crazy, but for some reason people think for Bitcoin it is. It's like, I guess it's just because of the price. Like, yeah, $50,000 to $80,000 is like, wow, that's freaking crazy. But dude, it's only a 1x. So realistically, it could happen. Right now, if you were to tell me, you know, Bitcoin going from $50,000 to $150,000, well then yes, that's a little extreme. But Bitcoin pumping 50%, 40%, it's a little crazy, but it's nothing unheard of, right? We've seen it in the past, but this time's a different age of the market. So I just be careful, man. I'm not getting excited for where the market's going. I'm saying neutral. I've learned the hard way multiple times, and I'm saying neutral. Wherever the market goes, if anything, I'm more scared of where the market's going because I know the market's overvalued. Like, I know the market needs a correction. So I'd be like more cautious now. Like what we're seeing now in the market, I'd be super cautious for Bitcoin. For altcoins is not that big of a deal because if you go over to altcoin season index, we did talk about this, right? And we're like, I told a lot of you these last couple of weeks, like these past 2 weeks, I've been telling a lot of you, consider doubling down on meme tokens and altcoins because if we do see this market continue to pump, we will go ahead and catch on to the narrative earlier on and make a lot of money. So, a lot of you that did listen to that, obviously I'm not a financial advisor, so I hope you didn't. But if you did go ahead and take that lead, you might either have really nice tokens right now, nice really backs, or you will be having those very, very soon, especially if we do get to this altcoin season. So we're at 65 right now in altcoin season. So we're about like 10 points or so like that away. So we're entering that, right? And also in the monthly, we're nowhere near altcoin season on the monthly. But this is something we have to go ahead and consider, right? Just consider the narrative of what could happen, right? So, yeah, let's go ahead and read some comments and see what people are freaking saying. Let's see. Beta V1 launched today for MMG. Nice. Jonathan, how's it going, my guy? I hope you're having a good one. Moonboy, Bernie, you 9-inch tethered legend. Huge wig, man. Smash that like. Yes, my liquidation will be around 57.7 thousand. Bernie, 55 is top for this pump. 5 months of pumps. I don't know, bro. I don't know, Bernie. I want to agree with you because yes, 5 months of pump is super, super bearish. Like as I mentioned, like if you don't see this as a problem, you're freaking crazy, bro. Like if you don't see this market being a problem, you're freaking insane for not seeing this. And if you must be overly freaking bullish and you don't know what's going on in the world. But fundamentally in the world, it is not looking good, bro. Like we're going to be seeing a top of a freaking housing market very soon. We're going to go ahead and we're seeing a top of like car sales right now. We're seeing retail spending going down. So like everything's really bearish, right? So as I always told all of you, and a lot of you don't understand this, I told you as the market continues to be bearish, for some reason we continue to make new all-time highs, right? So I like the poopy face on the thumbnail. Thank you. Yeah, dude, I was a little constipated, bro. So had to get it out, man. What's up, Mark? How's it going, dude? I'll check out that token you just shared with us, Ranger, right now. We've had 5 months of pumps, bro. Dude, I know we have. I've been wishing for a freaking correction since December, and we had a small one, right? So I completely understand how overvalued this market is. But I think that's where the problem begins, because a lot of people are like, well, dude, we've been pumping for 5 months, you know, it's bearish. We got to short, we got to short, we got to short. And we have enough traders thinking the same way. And then you have squeezes like we had today. You know what I mean? It's like no one could have called the squeeze. So I also don't want to sit here and say, like, I told you guys. No, I don't want to go ahead and say that, because I didn't know if there was going to be a for sure guarantee short squeeze, but it was kind of obvious that it was going to happen, right? But it wasn't obvious enough for me to put my money, because I knew that realistically it was neutral and it could have headed in either direction, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like no one knows. Like, yes, you know, 5 months of pump is bearish in my opinion, but realistically, what if we pump for another 2 months? Another 3 months, another 4 months? It could happen. Doesn't mean it has to happen. And it doesn't mean it will happen. But that's kind of like where the market sentiment's at right now. It's like, it just doesn't make any sense, bro. Like, you couldn't predict any of this, even if you tried. Even if you try to predict it, you wouldn't be able to. That's just the reality of things. And it's crazy, but it's true. It's crazy, but it's freaking true. Like, I'm going to be loading up on a little bit more PAL today. But let's go ahead and see what Moon Joker shared with us. I think the contract's over here. Let me try to see it. I'm going to look for this. I'm going to look for the contract that Black Ranger shared with us. And feel free to, like, share any meme tokens or any altcoins. I like to see what we're seeing in the market, just because it brings some excitement back in the market. Like, this is literally what I've been waiting for, bro. This has been my worst freaking performing month ever, besides like these last couple months. Like, it's been doing really good. Like, YouTube's been doing really good, and these last couple weeks, like this month alone, has been my worst freaking month so far. And I'm sure I'm probably gonna end the month pretty strong, to be honest. Even though we only have a few days, like we literally have probably like less than like 5 days, but I wouldn't be surprised if the channel ends pretty strong because of the volatility that we're seeing in the market, right? So it's crazy just how quick this market switches. It's like bearish, no one wants to know anything about crypto, and then one little pump, everybody's excited, everybody's bullish, trying to figure out what the heck's going on with crypto. And I always tell a lot of people, bro, it's like, the way you get wrecked is just by not looking at this market 24/7. You know, I look at this market all the freaking time. So this is the reason why I'm able to position myself on certain positions before they do what they do, because I look at this market every freaking time. See, the people that lose are the people that only look at the market whenever it's pumping. Those are the people that lose most money in this market, because they're entering the market a little too late, or they're entering the tops of the market. And that's kind of like where this space is at, right? A lot of people get wrecked if you're trading this market, if you're not looking at the market every day, right? Or even like I had some people reach out to me and they're like, hey man, how do I transfer my Pepe 2.0 tokens like from the old contract? And I'm like, dude, like it's March already. It's about to be March. Like you're like 2 months and a half late. Like your tokens are not worth anything, right? Like they're gone, bro. Goodbye. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. A lot of people think that with crypto, you can just set it and forget it. Dollar cost average these tokens, or just buy them and never hear about them or keep up with them, and then you lose your money. It's like, no, dude, this space, you have to be active in this space, bro. Whether you're holding on to freaking altcoins, higher cap altcoins, you have to be aware of what the market is doing literally every freaking day. Like if you're not keeping up with the markets every day, you're more than likely going to get wrecked, or at least once or twice a week. I know not everybody has the same passion or the motivation to, you know, keep up with the markets every day. At least try to do it once or twice a week, and I'll guarantee you you'll probably lose less money, and you'll be less you'll be wondering, you know, why this is happening less. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like the problem right now too that I'm seeing, is that I'm getting a lot of messages from people on Pepe 2, his new contract, now that it hit 100 million market cap. They're like, John, how do I transfer my tokens out of this exchange to the new smart contract? I'm getting emails, bro, like literally getting emails because Pepe 2 hit 100 million market cap, and I forgot about Pepe 2, bro. Like this space is so, like this space moves so quick that like these tokens are forgotten very, very fast, right? So like I don't keep up with all these tokens all the time. Like if I'm trading these tokens, yes, I'm following up with them, but as soon as I'm done trading the tokens, I don't care about the token, bro. Like I'm not keeping up with the token anymore. Like as soon as Pepe 2.0 did what they did, I was like, dude, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And guess what? They hit over 100 million market cap. And now, like, I'm getting a lot of people ask me, hey, John, should I go ahead and buy now? And I'm like, dude, no, you don't freaking buy at 100 million. You should have been buying like at the bottom. Like I didn't buy any. Like congratulations on anybody who made a lot of money on this token. And I was like super, super bullish. And guess what? A lot of those videos are also taking off right now. So like what I'm trying to say, it's like this is the reason why a lot of people get wrecked, because a lot of people are trying to figure out how they could go ahead and convert to the new smart contract when it hits 100 million, but they weren't asking themselves that freaking back in freaking January when it actually happened, back in December, right? And that's because people don't like to keep up with any of this. They'll just, it's red one day and they're like, oh, my portfolio is freaking 80% down. Let me go ahead and forget about it. They come back 3 months later to the news that Pepe hit 100 million. They're like, damn, dude, I'm going to look at my wallet. I'm probably a millionaire. They look at their wallet and they're like, wait, why are my tokens aren't anything? Then they figure out they had to transfer them out. And now they're trying to go ahead and do the transfer freaking 3 months later. You can't make any of this up, bro. Like this is why most, like, and I don't want to say that I don't feel bad for them, because I really don't, man. Like you get what you put in this market. Like people think like this market is just that one market where you literally like print money, magic internet money out of thin air and you wake up to millions of dollars. Like, yes, it's very, 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 very possible. But with how quick this space moves, you have to keep up to date with all the information. So I don't feel bad for people that weren't keeping up and were gone out of the market 3-4 months ago and are just showing up now back again and trying to figure out how they could convert to tokens. It's like, bro, like, unless you're new to the space, lesson learned. But if you've been in the space for a while and you just freaking left the market because your portfolio was down 80%, bro, like you got to face the truth. Like it freaking sucks. I'm not going to say it doesn't suck. Like it doesn't hurt when I lose money and I look at my bag and I'm down 90%. But like, if you don't ask yourself like how you could avoid that for the next time or learn from that mistake, you're never going to learn from it, you know? So at least now, like I understood, because I did the same thing with a lot of meme tokens where I would buy meme tokens and I would just dollar cost average into them, not keep up with them. And then I come to realize that they rug pulled or they changed contracts. It's happened to me. That happened to me back in October. It's the reason why I don't hold on to a lot of meme tokens anymore. Like if I do hold on to meme tokens, it's only one. It's only one or two at the most. And if I'm really bullish on a narrative and if I'm trading meme tokens, I'll trade them, dude. I'll be more than glad to freaking trade meme tokens back and forth. But if I know I'm not going to go ahead and dedicate the time to look into 10 different communities and be active in the community to know what the project's saying, you're going to lose money, bro. You're going to lose money long term. Trust me on that one. I'm telling you because I did that. I put in money into meme tokens and I just set it and forget it like a lot of people say. Worst advice ever, bro. Meme tokens, they don't last long. The narratives are not that long. I've been trying to show the smart contract with Black Ranger, but I don't know where it's at, bro. It's not showing up on my end. Give me 1 second. If you want to show any other tokens, feel free to go ahead and do so. Man, I get terrible connection, bro. I can't share the token. I mean, if you want, you can go ahead and send it to me on Twitter. But anyways, let me try to find it right here. Dutch knows, but he keeps all the info to himself. I bet he does, bro. I bet he does. Like, dude, the only way you know and you can predict a lot of these pump and dumps in the market are through two ways, right? It's either you being in this market or you learning from somebody else. And after a time, bro, after you look at these charts like literally for hours, because that's what I do. I look at these charts for hours, bro. I put in so much freaking time in crypto. It's not even funny, right? It gets to the point where you already know where things are going to go. So it's kind of like you, let's say like you're a runner, right? You're going out for runs. You run 1 mile and it gets very difficult. Then you're going down to the 2nd mile and the 3rd mile, and it's a little hard, right? But after you have enough time, you get conditioning, right? So you're able to freaking do miles for hours without realizing you're doing miles, right? That's because you have the condition. It's kind of the same thing with the market. Like After a while, after you get rug pulled so many times, you get liquidated so many times, you get dumped on so many times, everything of this happens to you so many times. Yes, it freaking hurts, but after it happens so many freaking times to you, you eventually kind of almost get numb to the situation where like you see the market be down like 80%. You're like, oh, okay, that's normal. And you just go on with your life. And then you just double down on a narrative. That's how bullish you are, right? And it's like second nature to you now. Like you don't even like, to you it's no surprise. Like the Bitcoin short squeeze today, you think it surprises me? Do you think I woke up this morning and I'm like, oh snap, what happened there? No, because I already knew what was going to happen. I knew the probability of what was going to happen. I was aware for it and I was prepared for it. So when I saw this movement, I'm just like, oh, yes, Bitcoin $54,000. Just go ahead and make a video talking about $100,000 Bitcoin. The bull run is back. No, dude. No. Because even that at $54,000, the top is near. I don't know where it's at. But don't be surprised if this is the top too. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I mean, let's go ahead and take a look at some articles. As per JP Morgan, the halving is already priced in. So it's quite interesting. You know, a lot of people are saying, are trying to price in the halving about how big this is going to happen. And then JP Morgan says the Bitcoin halving is priced in. How do you feel about that? I don't know. I wouldn't believe one thing JP Morgan says though, but I mean, look at this chart right here of Bitcoin. Like, look at this right here, 2012, 2016, 2020, and now. So you're telling me that $80,000 Bitcoin can't just happen out of thin air? Right? I know the market has pumped for 5 months, but does that mean the market can't pump for another 10 months? It can, because this market is fugazi. It's artificial. It doesn't exist. Like, it's fake. Like, this is one of the biggest, fakest markets ever, man. I'm telling you. Nvidia's year-over-year return has grown exponentially since 2012, going from 3.9 billion to 60 billion. You know, guess what has been pumping too? Nvidia. You think it's a coincidence that Biden's team just ended up doubling down on some funds for going down onto the NASDAQ, you know, doubling down on tech and AI? You think there's a coincidence to that Nvidia, 2 weeks after they double down in their positions, Nvidia makes new all-time highs? No, it's not a coincidence, bro. I'm telling you. Warning, MicroStrategy X has been hacked. They have been posting about a master token airdrop that is completely a scam. 500K has been stolen. And this is a sign right here too, you know, the fact that we're seeing these kind of hacks and these kind of situations in the space. Really, really bearish, right? You have to be very, very careful. Usually when we start seeing a lot of greed in the market, we start to get a lot of people to start to get these, you know, scams, hacks, airdrops, BS. You have to be very, very careful, right? So with that being said, I would highly recommend check out NordVPN, 69% off with 3 months extra. And if you're looking to go ahead and enter any longs or shorts, man, go ahead and at least use my links, bro, because if you're going to get wrecked, at least I could go ahead and get some money out of that, right? So go ahead and check out the links down below if you want to support the channel. But with that being said, let's go ahead and see what else we have. Dude, I got to get rid of this, man. What the heck? Like I would have already expected my feed to freaking at least refresh, but it didn't, man. Damn, bro. That's why I'm a little scared sometimes to open up my Twitters. Like, what are people freaking posting, bro? It's crypto people, man. A non-ETF entity purchased 26.2K Bitcoin worth 1.3 billion. Doesn't really matter. Bitcoin circulating supply on exchanges has been in the decrease since 2020. Right now is the lowest period since 2008. 18% of Bitcoin circulating supply in exchanges. So I don't know if this is bullish or bearish. And then we have this super trend price floors weekly. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. I don't know what this is, so I'm really interested into what this is. Does the super trend tell us that the new Bitcoin price floor is 40,300? It very well may, because the only price action that has ever reversed is a trend to a red is parabola or cycle top, neither of which apply to now. With exceptions to Wix, Bernie's favorite, below the trend, there may be no weekly close below 40,300 mark according to this measure. Pullbacks to those levels in the meantime are fair game. And that's actually quite interesting. Didn't you guys just hear? And I haven't watched this information. Like, I don't really watch other TA guys. Like, I've probably watched a handful and are people that I respect in the space. But besides that, I don't really watch other people's TA. Why? Because I do not want to get influenced when I'm making my videos, right? I want to go ahead and come up with my own opinions, my own narratives. And then after I'm done watching them, I go ahead and look at their TA, right? And see, okay, was that right? Was that wrong? What can I learn? And that's the way I better myself, right? But this is actually quite interesting how I just measured, you know, $80,000 Bitcoin, a possibility from where we're at right now. And if we have that correction, that 40% correction, whatever it is, we still come down to the $40,000 range. And I even told my buddy, I don't see Bitcoin going any lower, at least now, unless some crazy freaking event happens where it crashes everything. But then I wouldn't want to be there, bro, because that's going to look very, very bad for the market overall. But anyways, with what I'm saying, I don't see Bitcoin going lower than $40,000, bro. Like, even this guy's saying that, and I don't even know what the heck he's showing us. Like, what is he's probably showing us something like so bullish on a technical standpoint that might make sense, but like, I kind of don't care, right? Because I guess it's helpful. I mean, look, we have the top right here, 2011, 13, 2013 again right here, 17, 19, and then 2021, right? And this is where we're at right now. So in my opinion, I would say yes, $40,000 is a really strong area of support. And I don't think we'll see Bitcoin at under $40,000 ever again. Like, I think unless, as I mentioned, unless the top is on now and it dumps, yes, I do see it going below $40,000. But if we have a run up to new all-time highs, I don't think Bitcoin's going to go any lower than $40,000, bro. I think $32,000 is the lowest, in my opinion. And if you want to be extremely bearish, I would say $27,000 Bitcoin. That's like the lowest, in my opinion, we will ever see Bitcoin in our time ever again. $27,000. I'm calling it right now. $27,000 would be like the worst bearish case scenario. A lot of people are calling for 10,000. It's not going to happen, bro. And if it does, it's going to be a very scary time in the markets. It's super scary. Like, literally the world will be collapsing if we see those kind of levels, because that would mean the stock market would have to take a really big fat beating and it won't look good. So yeah, so let's be a little careful with what we wish for, right? Possible scenarios in the 1 hour on Bitcoin neutral. We could go ahead and see this going to the upside or to the downside, obviously. Altcoins, biggest altcoins news of the month. The Uniswap governance DAO have been proposed to holders the implementation of a revenue sharing mechanism where Uni holders receive a part of the fees generated on the platform. This is huge, as traditional governance tokens with no utility will have more incentive to be held. We will see many government tokens start this transition and start shoving revenue. So this is actually pretty cool, man. This is the reason why we saw Uniswap do that 50% rally, right? And that's what I'm telling you. Like, if you weren't a holder of Uniswap, or if you were a holder of Uniswap, and you wouldn't know what would be going down, right? But if you were like an active member of Uniswap, if you were constantly buying the dips time and time and time and over again, you would have been somewhat aware that this was going to happen, right? But I didn't even know what caused the pump. I told a lot of you, I was like, dude, I don't know what freaking caused the pump. Like, I wonder what caused it. Something happened. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. So that's actually pretty bullish. So what is Uniswap trading at now? Let's go ahead and see Uniswap right now. Lottery ticket, you win or you get rugged. Yeah, that's a terrible. I mean, yeah, I mean, literally, this is all a freaking lottery ticket, bro. Let's go ahead and see what Uniswap's at. And we've been talking about freaking DeFi pumping forever, right? I've also told you that. So it's not like I haven't been telling people and warning people about a possibility of what we're seeing now in the market. Like, even Uniswap at $10, honestly, is not even a bad deal. Now that I'm looking at it, like, maybe we could enter some longs on Uniswap, you know? We did see it go as high as $11 and then retrace, you know, but if they're doing like, they're offering like revenue share, bro, like, that's freaking bullish. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't be bullish on them, right? So like, realistically, from like what, $7 all the way up to like $10, like, wow, really cool, right? Not really. If you were trading with leverage, then yeah, that would have been a nice little freaking fat check right there. but nothing too crazy. So I mean, I might consider checking out Uniswap. You know, maybe the hype continues on Uniswap. So we're seeing that. We're also seeing Ape. A token that has been undervalued throughout the bear market is Ape. No one has been mentioning Ape since the launch. After the project, Yuga Labs hasn't been much active in the space. The token is starting to move, and I think we might get some news very soon. $3 per coin is on the table. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at Ape because this is what we want to go ahead and be taking a look at, right? We want to take a look at coins that no one's talking about, bro. And I completely agree. I feel like everybody has forgotten about freaking Ape. Like who have you been hearing talking about Ape? Like even at this bottom right here from the 23rd of February, which was literally last week, we literally saw an increase of 30%, right? So this is actually pretty freaking bullish if you caught that trade. But if you didn't, then you freaking didn't. But even this on the longer time frame, like this is so freaking bullish, right? So I would consider looking at Ape 2 very, very closely. I'm going to see if we can find any entries into Ape. It does look like a cup and handle pattern right here. We're going to go and see where things go, but I don't want to chase anything. So I'm going to be very, very careful on following any trades right now. But if I see a good entry on Ape, like around back to this $1.950, you know, I could probably consider opening along here because I do believe that, you know, this thing has been a little undervalued in my opinion. So we're going to go and see where things go there with Ape. What else do we have here? We have Uniswap right here. Biggest altcoin news. We have that. ETH is going to a mysterious monthly close, and we could pump further this week. So yeah, Ethereum looks like it's going to be bullish. ALTCOIN is a good project combining great looking chart and upcoming catalyst for price increase. So what is this? Let's go ahead and see what ALTCOIN is. Yeah, never mind. I don't like looking at anything like this, bro. Like this is what I've been talking about. Like it might have been worth down over here, but like when the token pumps this much over 185%, yeah, I'm not gonna look at that. What time frame is this in the 4 hour? No, that's not the 4 hour. Yeah, it looks like most of these tokens are in the 4 hours are the ones that are gonna be pumping like crazy. 4 hours, let's see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, also same thing with the 4 hour on ALTCOIN. I mean, you see it right here clear as day. It's a cup and handle pattern getting ready to form. So I'd be looking at this very, very carefully for confirmation. Yeah, it looks pretty bullish. But yeah, I mean, look at ALTCOIN. I mean, this thing went up pretty crazy. So I'd have to look at that a little closer, to be honest. And what do we have here? Let's see. Cody is a ETH layer 2 built on different technology. The project got put in by Light on Ryan on Crypto Banter, and he has showed us how much he is bullish on the particular tech. 365 million market cap on BingX and MEXC, bringing privacy to Ethereum. Cody, interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at Cody. Damn, why did I just do that? Okay, there you go. Copy. Let's go ahead and take a look at Cody real quick. It's actually been out for a few years, over 3 years, with a 30% pump today. Interesting. Crypto Hive. Let's go ahead and check it out. Small Jam TINT. Just accepted it right now. We should be getting it very soon. Sensitive data transmitted as public information on blockchain is limited to blockchain usage and adoption. Lighter, faster, and private. DEXs, private transactions give users of decentralized finance the features they love on SEX, privacy wallets. Interesting. Interesting. Cody. They're at 26 cents a coin. What is his all-time high? Oh, snap. That is his all-time. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, all-time high is 69 cents. Interesting. Okay. See, the thing is, a lot of these are already pumping, bro. Like, I just don't want to get into any of this. right now. Like, this is the last thing I hate to do is getting into these tokens as you already have a run up. Like, you get higher risk and the money is not the same, right? Twitter now accepts Dogecoin as a payment. Is it Doge or Twitch? Sorry. Twitch now accepts Doge as a payment. So that's pretty cool. I guess it's freaking cool. So congratulations, I guess. Bitcoin dominance is facing major resistance with the large Ikomochi cloud level. So let's go and take a look at the Ikomochi right there. Let's give that a second. If Bitcoin starts rolling over on the weekly, we could confirm the bear diversion on the the RSI. Jamie Dimon nailed every bottom since 2009, and for the first time, he just sold JP Morgan shares. Interesting. We're seeing a lot of these big CEOs and corporations selling a lot of freaking shares as of lately. 50 days left for the Bitcoin halving. The NATO chief says Ukraine will join the group, bullish for macro geopoliticals. We've been talking about this since last week. Jamie Dimon bought 1.235 million shares in the open market from 2009 2016 at the exact time when markets had bottomed. Last week, he sold 821,778 shares of JP Morgan stock, worth over 150 million for the first time ever. Interesting. He literally bought every freaking bottom, bro. I mean, look at these kind of percentages they get. Like, they literally get 6x's, which is like really nothing. But like, this guy's playing with millions of dollars. Like, you know what I mean? So like a 6x on a couple million, like, dude, that's insane. So since 2019, 2012, and 2016, buy price, he's like literally sold every freaking top and bottom, bro. So, you know, is it a coincidence that like he's selling a lot of his shares now? Like, not really, bro. Like, I think this is something huge coming. Like, there's others too. Jeff Bezos sold 8.5 billion of Amazon shares. Mark Zuckerberg sold 500 million of Meta shares. Jamie Dimon, the Walton family, 4.5 billion. The Bill Gates Foundation selling a lot of stocks alone. All these stocks have occurred in 2024 alone. What do these billionaires know that we don't? So that's interesting, bro. And this is the reason why I'm saying, like, this is an artificially pumped market and why we have to be extremely, extremely bearish, bro. It's like, you think there's a coincidence that these top players are selling, dude? You think there's a coincidence? Like we've noticed that a lot of these, like, you know, for sure they have more information than the typical person, right? So they know something, bro. This is the reason why I'm saying, like, don't get too excited in the market, because this could literally off flip in a freaking switch of a second, bro. And we don't know what the black swan event's going to be, right? So this is the reason why I'm not wanting to get too excited for this. And I want everybody to be extremely careful, because obviously something's going to happen, bro. I don't know what that's going to be, but it's obviously not looking too bullish, right? With all these big corporation people, CEOs selling freaking their stock at around this time. It's interesting to say the least. We're seeing triple resistance on the weekly in the Ikomochi cloud. We could get possible rejection leading to a 36% correction on Bitcoin on the monthly. Altcoin season, it's on its way. So this is kind of the reason why I say I really don't care what Bitcoin does, because I don't trade Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is kind of really no importance to me, right? Let's go ahead and see what Crypto Hive is showing us. Crypto Hive, like, I appreciate you for being here, bro, but I don't know why, like, it's not letting me show any of the freaking smart contracts that all of you have been posting. See, I don't know why the freaking contracts are not showing, dude. Not crypto. Okay, there you go. Not crypto. YouTube has just been blocking a lot of things. What's up, Brad? Hope you're doing good, bro. Moon Joker, long time no see, buddy, man. John Pepe 2.0 dipped down massively. I regret not opening a short position. The question is, were you able to open any shorts on Pepe anyways? I would have opened a short if I knew where I was able to short. Like, can you short spot? Moon Joker, are you seeing altcoin season before halving? possibility, bro. I don't know. I don't want to say that we are going to have an altcoin season before the halving. I'm saying we're going to have an altcoin season as soon as Bitcoin tops. So wherever Bitcoin decides to top, that's where we're going to go ahead and have altcoin season. I don't want to go ahead and overanalyze it, overpredict of the possibilities of, you know, this and that happening, because I really don't know. And yeah, I don't know. And I would typically never say I don't know. I usually know a lot of things before I say that, right? This is an interesting token, bro. TINT, $15,000 of liquidity. This is interesting. This is like a literally degen play, bro. This is a freaking degen play, Hive. What are you doing with a $15,000 liquidity token? Is it this one, Baby Floki, or is it TINT? Yeah, it looks like this one's it, dude. I don't know. I mean, that's probably the only one, right? I mean, none of them really look too crazy. I mean, this one has $290 of liquidity. I don't know. Nice call, I guess. I'm just not getting into some. Honestly, I'm not even playing with Binance Smart Chain tokens right now. So, yeah, I won't be touching that. Oh, it looks like Marvin's actually pumping today. 200. It looks like we're back at 285,000 market cap, which I called out. You know, that we will be getting a breakout soon. So definitely be on the lookout for Marvin having this breakout. We're about 50% from breaking out of this zone right here. As soon as we break, dude, this thing's gonna freaking moon. Like, this thing's gonna like literally just to the moon, literally to the freaking moon. And a lot of these tokens are as well too. But yeah, Pepe 2, bro, like I wish I would have opened a short, because, you know, somebody asked me, I think like 2 days ago, and they're like, John, should I buy Pepe 2 right now? And I'm like, bro, why are you asking me that, man? Like I'm sorry, but like, why are you freaking asking, should you buy at these top of the levels, bro? You never want to freaking buy at the top. Like, as much as you want to, it's like, yes, it's really interesting to go ahead and just see it run up. But you either take the risk over here early on, but dude, this is the reason why I don't like trading tokens like this. Like with Pepe 2, like I'd be bullish from the beginning. Like I would have been longing right here. If I remembered about this token again, I would have been longing right here again. This is where I would have been longing. And as soon as I saw that breakout, I would have freaking like quadrupled down on my position. But I wasn't looking at Pepe 2. I was looking at other things in the market. I was busy trading Solana meme tokens, bro. And I missed out on a freaking big play right here. But you don't buy this thing now, dude. I think this might be dead, but who knows? Maybe it has a huge reversal. I don't know. I wish I would have shorted this. If this thing was on like futures, I would have opened a short on Pepe easily, bro. It's a no-brainer. I would have told you this is exactly what would have happened. Like usually when it reaches these levels, it's where most of these tokens correct. It's not even like a Pepe 2 thing either. Maybe I'll do an update on Pepe 2. Let's go to see how overall the market's doing. We're seeing a little bit of a pump in a lot of these tokens, but nothing too crazy as of yet, right? Harry Potter Obama up 40%. Can you trade this on leverage, bro? Because I've been wanting to trade this on leverage. And this is the thing that I kind of hate. Like some of these tokens you can't trade on leverage, right? So like I feel like, dude, if I'm going to risk like myself trading a meme token, like might as well be able to trade it on leverage. It bothers me when these tokens are not listed on futures, bro. Like Pepe 2, that's why I stopped touching it. It wasn't on leverage. I'm like, dude, then I'm just not going to touch it. Imagine how much money you could have made. It would have ran up to 100 million. But I think that's exactly what prevented them from hitting those levels, because they're just too much influence, right? So it looks like you could buy Harry Potter Obama on MEXC. So if you want to go ahead and check out Harry Potter Obama, definitely go ahead and use my links down below. Let's see if we can find any entries on this. I think its all-time high was over 200 million market cap. Let's see. Oh yeah, dude, this is like a no-brainer for Harry Potter Obama. This is a freaking no-brainer right here to enter a trade on Harry Potter Obama. But dude, this is like about a 2x. Like, I'm sorry to say that, but like a 2x just doesn't excite me, bro. Like I could risk almost about the same on a meme token on Solana, and probably, or actually, you know, risk less and make about more or about the same in like 15 minutes if the play goes the right way, right? So I mean, this thing's on MEXC. I don't know, I might consider this. I mean, that's like a guaranteed, almost like a guaranteed 2x, right? It's like a guaranteed 2x or a non-guaranteed 2x. A guaranteed 2x sounds about right, right? Jonathan, how about Grok? You still hate it? I've started futures with Grok again 2 days ago. I hate Grok, bro, like with a passion, because it wrecked me, but I don't get emotional with these tokens. So like, I'm willing to trade them again. I was like literally about to type in again. I've been hearing about trading Grok. Someone told me, bro, like someone told me like, prepare to start trading Grok again on leverage, right? Literally someone told me that. And now you're the second person, unless you were the one that told me, dude. But I appreciate you, because I might consider trading Grok myself again, dude. Dude, I don't know. Should I trade it? Dude, I mean, look at it the daily. It's actually a clear sign of why you should actually trade Grok. I mean, it's a cup and handle pattern right here with this breakout. So support has been found pretty nicely. So, I mean, it's like a no-brainer to freaking trade this, bro. Realistically, like if I'm being honest with you, like if you're not trading Grok, I don't know what the heck you're thinking, bro, because this is a clear indication that this thing's in a freaking moon, like looking at the daily. And with Grok, let's go ahead and see what our levels of risk we would be entering, even at the lowest, right? 1.4x, not too bad. At the all-time high, it's a 3x. Dude, I guess that's the usual now. Freaking 3x's, man. But I got to remember, if you're trading on leverage, like this is not going to be too bad. So let's go ahead and look for some entries on Grok, dude. I might consider entering a leverage position on MEXC for Grok. Maybe I throw in $100, bro, and just see where things go. Let's go ahead and see the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart looks extremely bullish. 5-minute chart, extremely bullish. The daily, extremely bullish. Dude, this is just like screaming bullish in every freaking narrative scenario possible, bro. Like high key, like this is like a no-brainer, bro. Like even though I got wrecked on Grok, I lost over $20,000, bro. I lost over freaking $20,000 right here, dude. Right here. I entered the market right here and it dumped right here. So literally after they wrecked me 3 days later, pumped. You can't make this thing up, bro. You can't make this thing up. So even though Grok did that to me, and like I kind of hate them for that, like there's a special place for them in my head and in my heart, that I really dislike Grok a lot, like with a passion. It pisses me off whenever I just think about Grok. But with the narrative of AI taking off, and you know how Grok was like the whole entire hype because of Elon Musk, and we're having now, this is like the bottom of Grok, like literally before it took off, and we're seeing a cup in hand, or we're seeing bullishness into Grok. And somebody recently told me about Grok a few weeks ago, dude, a few days ago. They told me I would consider longing Grok right now, bro. And I'm like, dude, you're freaking crazy. And I looked at it and I'm like, not yet. Right now, you're freaking right, bro. So I'm actually going to go ahead and enter a long on Grok now, bro. So I appreciate you, Jonathan, for showing me that. I like that play, man. Grok is pretty good. How are you doing so far on Grok, dude? I'm going to enter a Grok position, bro, just because of that. Just because it does look bullish. And, dude, Grok, oh my gosh, man. I'm like, you're getting me excited once again, man. Like, if this thing pumps, I'm going to start loading up some money. So maybe before I go ahead and start loading up some money, I might consider making a video. But Grok's looking pretty juicy, bro. I'm going to go ahead and save that for later. And yeah, meta mini games for Ryan. They are doing a lot of things. So if you want to go ahead and check them out, V1 beta and future plans, what is next? And they did that about 2 hours ago into Spaces. So I'm looking at a few positions to load up, right? So one of them is going to be Grok. I'm going to go ahead and load up on that. Maybe I kind of wait because we might be seeing a little red. And I don't want to get extremely wrecked just yet. So I'll probably wait for that. Or I'll probably enter a very small position just in case. Like probably like 20 bucks, 50 bucks. And then I'll probably put it at the most in this trade, maybe $300, bro. Like I'm done putting in like 2,000, 3,000 and then getting wrecked. So I'm only going to put in a small position on this. I'll probably throw in like 50 bucks at first. And if it dumps, I'm going to go ahead and double down on my position. And as it's breaking out, I'm going to double down more on my position. So yeah, I'm going to be looking at Grok very carefully. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I was going to say this too as well. AMC is actually looking kind of good, man. I'm not going to lie. I know I kind of talked crap about AMC yesterday. But it looks like AMC is going to break out, bro. And if AMC does break out to the upside, from this upside to this downside, like look at this all-time high. This is going to be like that's a 10,000%, which is at 100x, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But if AMC hits these levels again, this is a freaking 100x, right? So I think that's $100 into what? Is $100 into 100x? That's $10,000, right? Calculator, let's see. I think it might be about that. $100 times 100. Yeah, $10,000, bro. So you throw in $100 on AMC right now, that's a $10,000 freaking play, bro. So AMC might be the move, bro. I've been kind of bearish on AMC. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. I've been really bearish with that. But let's go ahead and see what GME is doing. Because if AMC is kind of slightly pumping, that means GME is probably going to be reversing. Yeah, same thing with GME, man. GME is also looking for a bottom. So just GME doesn't have the biggest push. It's only going to be a 9x, which is not that bad. You know, it's a little bit safer than AMC for sure. So dude, I don't know. I'm going to consider that because like right now, like I'm also considering to adding another small position to PAL token, because PAL token looks like it also has found a bottom. It's down 40%. And this is actually the level that I was looking for. I was waiting for $132,000 to actually happen. I was actually waiting for the zone. Like I literally said today, like I'm going to patiently wait for the zone to happen in order for me to go ahead and long, because I've noticed with PAL, typically when it hits around this range, it usually has a bounce off from here. Like usually we always see PAL enter these ranges, then we see it go all the way back up. And even if we do see that kind of move, we're going to go ahead and see literally a quick little 1x. But if we go back to these all-time highs, it's about a 3x, right? So, you know, PAL's also looking kind of bullish in my opinion. So I might consider loading up, because with PAL, I did load up with PAL back over here as well. Look, I've loaded up with PAL. These last couple of days ago, I loaded up on PAL right here. I think it was right here, if I'm not mistaken. And then we saw that massive pump to the upside. So I think we might be seeing something very, very similar. We have touched this area of support. So it's kind of almost an easy trade, right? Like if you're looking for an easy trade setup, like PAL is going to be the move. And I think even this next breakout to the upside is going to be 1 million plus market cap. So PAL to me makes kind of sense. AMC is also making a little bit of sense, but I'm going to be looking at very, very carefully Grok. That's what I'm going to be considering. I'm going to be considering Grok to go ahead and enter a trade on that, bro. I appreciate you, Jonathan, on that. Damn, dude, 557 because of futures with only $42. What did you? What leverage are you using, by the way? I'll probably do $100 then, bro. I'll probably like deposit $100 onto my MEXC account, and I'll probably do like $20-$40 positions, and then just slowly enter my way in. Because if we see like a small little correction on meme tokens, you know, Grok, bro, like even with tokens like that, like if you see a nice little dump, like that's a fat freaking dump, bro. Like look, like even if we were to dump, like let's say from these levels right here, that's about a 30% correction. So I think Grok, in my opinion, I think so. I think it might come back down to like around this zone right here. I could be wrong, right? We probably could see Grok with another like 14% correction is what I'm thinking. Or maybe it does squeeze up. But yeah, I'd be really interested with how much leverage you're going to be doing that with. But anyways, guys, I appreciate every one of you. I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your day. Be careful with the market. And if you are looking to go ahead and enter any shorts or longs, go ahead and check out the links down below, BingX and MEXC. Both of these platforms are non-KYC platforms, Bybit being one of the best exchanges to trade. And if you're looking for a VPN, check out NordVPN, 69% off with 3 months extra. I'll go ahead and catch all of you on to